Hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me? Everyone, can you hear me? So we are going to start the session. I think some people have joined. 8 to 10 people have joined. So I very first thing, I think each and everyone, uh, each and everyone has opened. I have shared one, PDF file to everyone. So I hope everyone has opened their PDF file. So, a very very good afternoon, evening. So we are starting with the first chapter on in the notes. Very first chapter is chapter 1, Introduction to Management Control System. So in this we have to define the first topic is what is a MCS. So as I said in the class, right, it's a nothing but a POXMAC. Okay, and POXMAC is the full form of POXMAC is, as it is a planning, organizing, then execution, monitoring, analysis, control, and Kaizen. That is a continuous improvement for organizational health. Organizational health means the health of the organization. If the health is good, then the organization can sustain. Otherwise, it will go down. So to maintain the health of the organization health, it is very important to have a MCS, management control system. And if health is good, then effectiveness and efficiency is also comes with the MCS. So it is a organizational health, effectiveness, and efficiency which is required for functionality, the various functionality of organization. What are the various functionality of organization? The various functionality of organization is MSF, HORI, HORI, MS HORI. M means marketing, S for sales, F for finance, M for H for HR, okay, R for research and development, O for organization, and in the last I is for information technology. So that is what is the someone says, what is the definition of the MCS? You can say that, right, that it is a systematic approach to gain the efficiency, health, and effectiveness within the company, within the organization, and for to do various functionalities. So that is what you can define MCS. And for that, mnemonics which I have suggested was a Poxmac, OHI, and this thing, uh, MSF, ORI. So you remember that, and whenever it is come MCS something, you can write that. Then next topic is the importance and significance of MCS. It is very famous question, and there are chances that it can come, or it will come in some this thing. So it is nothing but a goal alignment, performance evaluation, a resource allocation, risk management, okay, coordination, integration, so compliances, adaptability, decision supports, employee motivation, etc. So you can write that significance of the MCS. Again, there are chances that these questions may come up. Then next one is the basic control processes. There are 7-step processes, okay, which is a mnemonics I have given. It is a DEM CITM, okay, DEM CITM. The full form of DEM CITM is: first, determine the areas of control, establish standards, measure performance, compare performance against standards, identify and analyze deviation, take corrective action for the deviations, and monitor and adjust. So this is what the basic 7-step process of basic controls which is required. So this is again a very famous question. I think yeah, there are chances that it may come if significance is not coming. Then next one is a objective of MCS. Objective of MCS, again you can repeat that the significance and other things. So it is not much. You can mention that no, it is a OHEE, okay, and MSF ORI. You can mention that, and you can elaborate that. So that new mnemonics, which mnemonics which we have suggested, you can use that again here. Then factors influencing MCS, as these questions, in mid-sem it has come, so you can continue whatever you have written. You can give some example based on upon the example and marks. You can decide whether just to mention the factors and also give examples. Examples will be given when the question is marks is more than 5 marks. Then you can go for giving the example as well along with the explanation. I think each and every one of you can explain that. So just chat, I have written some that. Are you listening? Whatever I'm writing, is it okay? Just write okay. Or if you want, little bit faster or, little bit more louder, let me know that. Okay, then I will continue the same way I was continuing. Okay, so so the next chapter is organization structure and control. This organization structure and control, the various other topics are like, critical success factor, KPI and KRI. Critical success factor, as I told, right, the success factors are like objective, clear objectives, effective leadership, skilled workforce, innovation, customer satisfaction, operational efficiency, okay, financial stability, market adaptability, strong partnerships. So these are some of the critical success factor which is required for the organization. So to maintain the organization health, effectiveness, efficiency, this CSF, okay, is required. So I know that OHE which is there, right? You have to elaborate that same thing, and for elaboration, whatever is required, you have to write those things. So it is a clear objective, good leadership, skilled workforce, innovations. So these are some of the things you can mention whenever CSF is concerned. Then a key performance indicator is again it is some of the metrics which are there, which shows the health and effectiveness and efficiency of the organizations. You can mention those. These KPI can be a CRR, that is the customer churn rate, revenue growth rate, then net promoter scores, then sales conversion rate, customer acquisition rate, cost, inventory turnover, okay, turnover, then employee satisfaction index, CSAT, ROI, average order value. These are some of the KPI metrics which are people want to know, understand that, see how the on this metrics how the company is performing. So this is a KPI. Then next one is a KRA, key result indicator, KRI. Okay, KRI can be profit margin, market share, customer lifetime values, then employee turnover rate, productivity per employee, time to market, customer retention rate, cash flows, brand equity, CSAT scores. So these are some of the key result area. Okay, KPI is a performance area, and these are something like a result area. So in this chapter we have CSF, KPI, KRI. Then next one is a introductions to technology and system for the strategic control. So some of the system which we use for the company's growth, this thing is as of today which are there, like a ERP, then CRM, business intelligence tools, data analytics tools. Okay, data analytics tools like Power BI, then performance management systems. Okay, then key performance KPI dashboards, KRI dashboards, supply chain softwares like SCM. Okay, then we have decision support system, DSS, executive information systems, digital dashboards. These are some of the tools which we use to have a this thing KPI, KRI, this thing available. So it is nothing but a tools which we use, software tools which we use for this thing. So these are information technology, so you can understand that these are tools which you can discuss over here. Next one is the BSc. BSc is again, there are chances that a balance scorecard can come. Balance scorecard, as I have explained you in the class, that balance scorecard is nothing but a 360-degree appraisal of the organization and its elements. Organizational elements are nothing but your department's individual employees. So it is an appraisal of 360-degree appraisal of the organization as a whole, and as a team, like a division, and as an individual. So that is why it is called as 360-degree appraisal. And it in terms of four perspectives, and these four perspectives are nothing but a FCPLG. F for finance, C for customer, P for processes, learning growth, LG. LG means learning and growth. So these are, this BSc can come, and this is what you will write to introduce BSc. For steps which are involved in BSc implementation are like establish objectives. Okay, then identify key performance indicator, develop metrics, set targets, cascade goal through in organization aligned departmental objectives, implement performance measurement system, monitor progress, conduct regular reviews, and adjust. It is just like a POXMAC. Okay, it is the POXMAC for metrics and other things you can say. Okay, so you will set the metrics for each and every individual in the start of the any financial year. Then you will you will convey that to everyone, and after convey actual reporting will happen, and based on the reporting you will do the analysis. Deviation is required, deviation will be done, and based on the variance and that. So it is just a derivative of POXMAC. Okay, and it is in terms of FCPLG. So you can, while implementation of BSc, you can have also mention the in terms of POXMAC, and these steps you can remember it. Or if you are not remembering it, then it is a implementation. So every implementation go with it is a every implementation is just a derivative of POXMAC. So you have to customize the POXMAC, and you have to write as per whatever the implementation is there. So in every implementation, you need to have a plan, organization, plan for what M5. I already told, right. M5T. What is the M5T? M5T is nothing but a resources. So you are implementing BSc. Okay. So you need to have a proper planning for BSc implementation. BSc implementation, and for that, whatever the M5T is required, you have to plan for that, organize that. So if you are not able to remember the steps, then always remember Foxmac, and the resources which are going to be utilized to do that implementation. So you have to combine those things, and you have to elaborate that this thing by giving examples and other thing. This is how you will write this stepwise this thing, right? So all the information is just like a Foxmac only, some or what derivative of that. Okay, you remember the steps. If you are not able to remember the steps, then you can elaborate the Foxmac, and you can tailor the Foxmac as per this thing, the question. Then third chapter is the corporate culture and designing of control system. Okay, so here where there are three types of controls: action controls, result controls, and personal controls. And the details of those controls have been given up. For example, action control is activity based. Then result control is outcome based, and personal controls are value based. So you can go into the detail of this, and you can write it. In the medicine, this question has come. I know if this question comes, then you have to write that, all these answers which has been given. Then controls for the internal businesses. Okay, for international businesses. So as a international businesses are there, right? As you are aware that they operate in different environment. Okay, so pastels different is different in different countries. So it is an international matter. So that is you have to tailor as per the different countries. So legal, then currency, political, okay, tax, okay, cultural. These are some of the things you need to take care of. So here this question is there, so you can always remember pasted in different countries, and accordingly you can go and write if this question comes, how the controls NCS is implemented in international business. Then next question is the control of non-profit organizations. Non-profit organizations are totally different organizations, because those are not profit oriented, but these companies are in non-profit organizations are aimed towards a social for society, social services. So their main objective is not profit. That is why it is different from the profit organizations. So their objective and controls are going to be totally different. So you think from that point of view and elaborate, and the points has been given. You can go through those points. If you are not able to go through those points, then always remember that it is totally different from the profit organization, and the main purpose is for the society, for the social service. So accordingly, all the controls will change. Okay. Then next one is a control for empowerment and innovation. So innovations wherever, because innovation is something like a different from this thing. In the classroom, I have already given example of Wipro, how Wipro operate. Okay, so whenever the innovations happens, you have to include motivate people. You have to give some incentives and other things. Okay, then some of the autonomy, freedom you have to give. Okay, provision for the this thing, time should be given. People should feel motivated to share their knowledge, to share their innovations, to share their idea. You have to nurture the idea. So these are some of the things you can write over here, and the details has been already given. Then organizational structure and control, chapter 4. Okay, here organizational structure is nothing but it is nothing how hierarchy of the roles, responsibilities are there. Okay, has been is there in the organization. Some organizations are flat, some organizations are not flat. They are pyramid, like in pyramid structure. What happens? The higher level people are very less, and the bottom level people are very number. So it is a pyramid structure. So organizational structure, in a nutshell, you can say it is a hierarchy of the people within the organization, and that because of the pyramid, right, the controls happens. So organizational structure is very much important, and you can mention that the dimension of, and what are the on which dimensions that organization structure happens. This has been given in the first topic. Then is the types of organization structure. Here the topics of the types of organization structure can be functional, where the functional is the organization is divided in based on the functions like HR functions, then marketing functions, sales functions, okay, operations functions, functions, right, like that, functional design. Then divisional design, various divisions are there in this. What happens, for example, in Godrej and Boys, they have the lock system, they have a motor system, different like cupboard system, different products are there, and different divisions are there. Then you have a matrix can be a combination of two types of designs, or more than two designs. Then hybrid matrix, then hybrid can be anything. Then horizontal design are flat, like normally flat structure are the structures where the hierarchy is less than three. For example, IT companies, you will find the hierarchy level is hardly two or three. So normally IT companies, they say that we have very flat structure. So there is almost there is no hierarchy at all. If hierarchy is there, then only three hierarchies is there. So that is what a flat structure or horizontal structure is. So this is what the types of organization structure is. Then is a responsibility structure. Responsibility structure is, again, I told you, right? Responsibility structure is nothing but refers to the formal arrangement of roles and duties within the organizations. So this is very much important. You can go through that. So here in responsibility structure, authority, accountability, okay, are given, and only the objective of doing there should be the healthy environment, there should be effective and efficiency should be there. So whenever the responsibility structures are designed, always it is taken that it is making the company smart, okay, and the smartness comes when the organization is healthy and effective and efficiency. Then next one topic is responsibility centers. So there are three responsibility centers: cost center, revenue centers, okay, then profit centers and innovation centers. You can go through that. It is very simple. Okay, look, so responsibility centers, you can have a CRP, cost, revenue, and this thing. You remember this, for responsibility centers. So this chapter 4 talks about the organization structure, and it talks about the dimension. It talks about the talks about the types of organization structure. It talks about the responsibility structure. It talks about the responsibility centers as well. Next one is a transfer pricing. Transfer pricing is, again, I have given you some case study on iPhone and other things, right? So transfer pricing happens when within the company, one subsidiary transfer one product from one subsidiary to another subsidiary within the company. So that transfer pricing is there, and it is should be there, because if we do not maintain this, then probably the valuation of each and every subsidiary, you cannot have any idea. So to have an idea about that, so transfer pricing is there. So definition is already given. You can go through that. Then factors influencing transfer pricing, again, tax, market competition, and industry norms. Okay, you can go through that. Then methods of transfer pricing. There are three types of transfer pricing: cost based, market based, profit based. So always remember the CMP triangle. It is a triangle. Three things are there, and it is a CMP: cost, market, and profit. Then last one is nothing but an implementation of transfer pricing. So it is the steps are given. It is, again, more or less just like a POXMAC. So you remember POXMAC, and then you can write it, and you also remember that this thing, how the transfer pricing happens, the steps. Okay, and also I will request you to go through that that transfer pricing iPhone case study. Okay, that where it is there. Always remember that in transfer pricing, custom duty is given when that the things comes with another country. At that time, custom duty is there, and it is based upon the cost which has incurred in the other country. It is not on the sales. So you remember always that custom duty is when it is paid at what rate. So that you just go through that questions. Okay, it might come, may not come. Okay, because I have given that question only. Okay, but there are chances that my question cannot be taken, because there are so many people who have submitted. So the very few chances are there, but still I will, because I have submitted, so I expect that you should go through that. If it comes, then you will be able to score more. Then management control process through budgeting. Budgeting is another this thing. Budget is nothing but it is a planning of real cash. Okay, it is the definition of budget is a planning, and it is for real cash. R for revenue, E for expenses, A for asset, L for liabilities. Cash means revenue. Okay, so that is definition. Then budget and strategy, how the budget and strategies are there. Okay, you can go through that, how they are related with. So it has been given in this. Next one is the types of budget. As I told you, there are different types of budget. It was there in the last mid-sem also. So the very famous question, it may come, what are the different types of budget? Okay, and always you remember one budget as a zero-based budget, which starts with zero. Then there is something called the incremental budget as well. Okay, so you can go through that. Okay, and learn that what are the zero, ZBB and other things, right? Then budgeting is again a budgeting process. This thing, there is a process which is involved. Here I will tell you to remember the. It is just like a box map, but always remember the government of India budgeting process. Okay, so very first thing is the budget, appointment of the budget controller, then developing the guidelines for the budget, then developing the budget for the department, then developing the budget for the entire organization, determining the budget period and the factors, and benchmarking the budget. Budget review happens, then approval will happen. After approval, monitoring happens. Then in between, adjusting is required, adjusting is done, or a rolling of the budget happens if the drastic change is there. So these steps you remember. If there are chances that it may come, then you will be able to write. So basically, you can think of the government of India's the budgeting process. You will be able to recollect it. Just a minute. Then next, after budgeting, you have zero-based budget. I think this was the question in the last midterm. You can all of you can remember that. This is very simple. So zero-based budgeting starts with the zero. So the characteristics of the zero-based budgeting, I have given 5 to 10 characteristics are there. So you can go through the characteristics and elaborate. Then analyzing and reporting financial performance. This is again the how analysis and happens on this thing. So always remember that it is just like targets are nothing but targets are nothing but it is it should be smart, and it should be smart steps, you can say, or you can also say smart tips. So smart, as I said, right, it should be smart. Okay, then it should have a in steps you can have a transparent alignment. Okay, performance evaluation, enhanced decision making, and strategic planning. So that is what the steps is there. Okay, so this is what is there, addition. So targets are nothing but metrics or goals which are there, and goals, one of the characteristics, it should be smart. Okay, and it should be smart. Then it should have a proper steps should be there. Steps, that is transparency. Okay, then alignment should be there. Then performance evaluation should happen. Then evaluation, enhanced decision making should have, and the strategic planning. Okay, then factors affecting the business performance. Factors, as I told, right, it is a pastel. So you can go through that, and it is a more or less pastel only. Okay, a pastel which affects the MSF4E. MSF, as I said, right, MSF is a aim for marketing, S for sales, F for finances, H for HR, O for operations, R for research and development, and I for information. So all the functionals gets affected because of the pastel. So you can write factors which influence the performance of the company, right? Factors. Next one is a performance analysis. So some of the performance analysis which are there, some of the performance indicators are like financial ratios, sales metrics, profit margin, then the ROI, okay, cash flow, market share, customer retention rate, employee turnover. So you can mention all this in performance analysis. You can mention all these, metrics, KPI, KRI, which are there. Then performance reports. Okay, there are various reports like profit and loss, balance sheet, cash flow, sales report. Whatever you remember, you just write whenever that performance report comes. Okay, so there are chances that profit. What is the profit loss and statement and other things you can imagine that, and you can write those this thing in detail. Okay, so performance reports is there. Then next one is a management compensation. Compensation management is nothing but a salary. I have given one case study where attrition rate was very high, right, 8 to 10. So because of people are not satisfied, that is why they look for some other opportunity outside of the company. So in that case, compensation is very much important. If they are paid well, they will not attrition rate will be not there. So the compensation management objectives are like this is the mnomics RD ARC DEX. You remember this? So ARC DEX means alignment of the commensurate with the organizational goal, retaining the talent. These are some of the characteristic management compensation should be have. It should be as per it should be retaining the talent. It should be motivating the talent. It should control the labor cost, ensure the fairness, because fairness is very much important. People if see that they are not paid fairly within the organization, they will try to leave the company. Then comply with the legal and regulatory requirements. Some legal and required compliance is there that should be made. So compliances is there. Support talent development and succession planning. Okay, this is very much important. The provide a competitive also. Whenever you are putting that salary structure right, you always think of competitor as well. If competitor is paying more and you are paying low, then there are chances that people will leave your company and they will go into the same company. I have given you the example of this guy, Jatin Dalal, who is who left this thing Infosys, right? And he has joined no Wipro. He has left Wipro, Jatin Dalal. Okay, he was getting around 12 crores per annum. Now he went into the Cognizant and he's got getting around 40 crores rupees per annum. Now because of this disparity in this thing, because competition was there, so he left the Wipro and he has done so. Now this Ajim Premji is asking for 25 crores of this thing compensation in the legal. So you can give that example, and you can mention that. Okay, so that case study you can mention. Then role of compensation and rewards in the organization. So why compensation, good salary, okay, makes this thing very important. So you can again take the same in mind maps are arc dex, okay, and you can mention that it attracts the talent, it motivates, okay, it's retain, okay, it's differentiating compensation, fostering succession planning, ensuring, okay. So that is what you can mention that management compensation. So management compensation is very much important to keep the talent within the organization. If salary and other things are not paid on time, people will leave. Attrition rate will be high, and whatever the investment the companies has done on the employees, if they are leaving, then that ROI for those investment will be not achieved. So you will find that people are coming and going, and they are not contributing to the growth of the company. So it is very much important for people to retain within the organization. If you are, they have joined company and they are getting the training. Okay, so that is why. So try to have retaining is very much important. Compensation salaries are very much important. Otherwise, your company will become just learning and training department, and will people come and they will join other companies. This happens in various companies, and those companies never grow because the people when they become contributory, they will join other companies. So it is very much important. Compensation management is very much important. You can give some example. Okay. So now next topic is the role and important of compensation salary in the organizations. Again, attracting the talent and the thing, the same thing, right? So you can write. Then compensation management. Okay, steps are establishing clear compensation structures and the proper salary structure. You do it, then conduct surveys, design the competitive compensation package. Okay, implement the performance based pay package, administer employees benefit, treat them, conduct training, and all those things are there. This I have already you know uh, you know taught you in the class. You can how the compensation management process happens. Okay, so you can go through this again. These steps are very much important. Okay, next one is the corporate compensation policy, how the compensation policy should be there. Again, you can take the arc days, that mnemonics. Okay, and you can put those policies. Then there is something like an internal equity and external equity. Internal equity, and this is very much important. There are chances that this internal equity and external equity can come. Okay, so you can go through that and read by yourself. Okay, next one is a chapter 9, that is a management control system in service organization. In service organization, as you so said, right? The service organization, there are different nature of services which are there, like professional services, business services, consumer services. You just go through that and how they are classified. You can go through that. Then next one is that what are the service characteristic. For service characteristic, I have given you one mnemonics, that is a VIP please NOC. V for variability, I for intangibility, P for perishability, customer involvement, CI, then L for this thing, right? Lack of ownership. So L, you always remember. I for this thing, uh, uh, involvement. Okay, S for this thing, standardization. Okay, H for heterogeneity and customer perception. So these are some of the VIP please NOC you remember. Okay, whatever you remember, you write that those characteristic. Okay, and you can explain those things, right? How the customers are in environment, perishability, sustainable, simultaneous of production means simultaneity of the production. Whenever the service is given, at that same time it is production is happening. So that is a simultaneity of is there. Okay, heterogeneity means one service has been given, the same service will be not given because there is a difference happens, because this in happens because of the customer, the service who is giving and the customer who is taking the service, that may differ, and because of that the service there is a heterogeneity, there is no homogeneity, the same service cannot be given. Okay, because it is more perception, customer perception. So this is very much important. Then what are the techniques for the control of the techniques for the service, control of the service. So some techniques are like a service blueprint, capacity management, this is for capacity planning, then yield management, service quality management, service recovery. uh, this thing. So these techniques are, you just go through that. Okay, and you remember whatever you can write on this. So one is the blueprint, capacity planning. Capacity planning means how much services you can increase or give. For example, if today you can uh, give customer support to 2000 people. Okay, so if you are going for 2000 people, so that you are increasing the capacity, so that capacity management is very much important. Then yield management, how much yield is there, right? Maximizing the revenue through the this thing. Yield means efficiency. Okay, your service cost is getting down and service income is increasing, so yield management. Then service quality, quality is increasing, right? Service recovery. Okay, service address customer complaints effectively. So that is what the service recovery is. You just go through, there are chances that this question may come, so it is one of the important questions, I can say. Then next one is the controlling of different categories of the services. Okay, so professional service organizations, then mass service organizations, service factories. You just go through that. This is also one of the important questions. Okay, the characteristic I have already explained you. This controlling of the different service. This you go through in service management. These two topics you have to learn by yourself. Then chapter 10. is a management control system in multinational company, as you know, that they are operating in different countries. So there are lots of challenges in that, because there are different countries, different culture, different compliances, different regulators, okay, different market. So there are lots of dynamics involved into that. So this is what the multinational character is there. Then centralized decision making, because centralization is very much important, because these companies are operating in different countries, and so decision should be made centralized, so that it is operating as a one entity. So because if you leave, it is not taking centralization, then decentralization will affect the companies. So centralized decision making is one of the main objective of any MCS which is there in multinational companies. Okay. Next one is the design of MCS. How the MCS gets designed in such multinational companies, those are very much important. Again, this is again derivative of Boxmac. So you can go through the steps, okay, and you can write the steps. If you do not remember these steps, then you can write the Boxmac, this thing also. But you have to tailorize for the design of MCS. Okay. Then management control system of projects. Projects, as I said, right? Projects are, what are the nature of the project? The characteristics of the project is that it has a start time, end time, and they are unique in nature. Okay. So how the projects have project plan and other things, how it helps in controlling, those has been given here in the first topic, in the control of the project through project plan. Then project execution control. Okay, so there are, task assignment, how resource allocation, schedule adherence, quality management control, change management, all these things are there. Then there is a change control process. As I told you, right, I have taken in the class these steps, so you remember all this change control, how it happens. So there are, this is very much important. Okay, you go through that, it is very simple. Once you go through that, you will remember all this, this process. Then is a project auditing. Auditing is again, what is a project audit and how it happens. Okay, what are the steps involved, you can go through that. This is again a simple question. The next topic is chapter 12, that is a that is a enterprise risk management. Okay, enterprise risk management is very much important. Okay, risk, as I told, right? Risk, the input for the risk are ADU, triangle ADU. A for assumptions, D for all dependencies, and U for uncertainties. So you have to take that ADU and you have to do the SWOT analysis. And after SWOT analysis, you will come through that impact and probability. So, the steps for risk is there: identification of risk assessment, risk prioritization, risk mitigation planning, risk monitoring, and risk response implementation, and risk review evaluation. These are some of the risk management process. Okay, this I have given you that ADU and other things, mind maps and other things. With the help of this, you will be able. So I have also taken PI matrix, probability and impact matrix, which is there. So you can also mention this. Then is a financial risk. Okay, types of business risk. Okay, there are the types of the market, risk which are there. You can go through. Then benefits of uh, challenges of risk management. Benefits and challenges are given. You can go through that. Okay, and risk response strategy. You always remember AMATIC. This response strategy is again very important question which comes. So it is a AMATEC, A for avoidance, M for mitigation, A for this thing, right? Then T for transfer, E for exploitation, okay, and A for acceptance and contingency plan. AMATEC, you remember. So these are some of the risk response strategies which you need to do for risk treatment. So this AMATEC and ADU uncertainties, PI matrix. Okay, these are very much important things. Whenever risk comes, you can give that example. Okay, you can write on these terms. Then third chapter is the last chapter, which is the right. What is the management control system? What are the roles played by different level in the organization? That is the role of top management in MCS implementation, role of middle management, and the role of frontline employees. So it is given. You can go through that. There are chances that the question might come. Then organization of the life cycle of okay, each and every organization had different life cycle, like a startup, growth, maturity, and decline. So their MCS objectives are also different. So you can have that this thing, right? Next one is a challenges in the implementation of control system. What are the challenges, like a resistance to change, cost constraint? So these are challenges which are there. So you can go through that. Then what are the different okay, impact of organizational life cycle on the thing? You can refer that one PT which I have sent, right? So these are, and some of the tools which we use in management control system is like root cause analysis, SWOT analysis, probability and impact analysis, variance, Monte Carlo simulation, decision trees. These are some of the tools which you just go through that before exam, and whenever it is required, you can write them. So this is all which is there in your syllabus, and questions may come from here. So, and there are lots of mnemonics which I have explained you. Okay. So some of the important questions which may come, I would write transfer pricing questions. You just go through that. Then in the business case studies which are there, right? Business case study, whatever the business case study comes there, you always try to do the SWOT analysis first. Has been given, what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses, what are the opportunities, what are the threats. You make four this thing, right? Four quadrant, and you go on writing strength, weakness, and of that case study if it is in detail. Okay, sometimes what a case study is just 4 5 lines. Okay, they will say that we imagine this company is this there, and you have to explain what is happening or something like that. So it is an open-handed question. So you have to write whatever knowledge you have in that chapter or something like that. Okay, you have to just think, if it is open-handed, it is left to you whatever you want to write. Okay, then try to put all your knowledge in that this thing explanation. So open-handed questions, case studies comes, then you can write that open hand in that way. You try to pour down all the knowledge which you have. Okay, and also think that what are the question has been asked. That is very much important. Next one is that is a business case, and some of the business cases can become where it is will be more like a essay type. So in essay type questions, try to, whatever the questions has been given, try to do the SWOT analysis and other things. Okay, some of the tools, root cause analysis or something like that, you try to do that, and you make the decision or something like that. Okay, so you just have to look at the case study, read it properly, think from the SWOT analysis, do the SWOT analysis of that, and then you attempt the questions. Okay, so whatever case studies you are attempting, you try to always remember from the SWOT point, so that you can strategize the things. Okay, because the case study which are very comprehensive type of case studies, there you need to understand the things, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, and then you attempt the question and try to answer based on the SWOT analysis, and try to give your own strategy or something like that. So SWOT analysis is nothing but understanding, and whatever you are saying, whatever answer you are doing, you are backing that decision with the SWOT analysis. That is why the SWOT analysis in the business case studies, in comprehensive business studies, is very much important. And if case study comes open-handed, then you have to do that this thing. And one another numerical problems can come. It can come from the variance, that is from the financial control. Okay, that variance I have given that picture of that on WhatsApp group. If it is not there, I will again send you that. You can go through that. Okay, and try to attempt that. And also transfer pricing question which I have given, you also go through that. And some of the important question like a compensation management which is there, right? So compensation management, what are the steps, what are the need of a compensation management, explanation. Okay, if marks is more marks is given, then you have to mention the examples as well, so that shows that you are first defining the concept, and then you are giving that with the example. And if you remember some diagram or something like that, you can also write that. You can also make flow chart, for example, steps which are there, right? If you remember the steps, you can put into the flow chart, and then you can the same thing flow chart which is there, you can go on explaining that in the this thing. So it will so that that steps. But always try to do that whenever you are very much confident. Otherwise you just go on writing whatever you remember. Okay, and whatever the steps, normally what are the steps, implementation steps or something like that, always remember each and everything is Proxmac. Okay, it is always Proxmac, and Proxmac of what, that is a functionality, that is MSF Hori. And there are five type of six type of resources, that is M5T. Okay, so whatever the things you always remember all these things in management point, this thing, right? So you can accordingly whatever the steps has been given you, because whatever the open-handed questions comes, that what are the steps of implementing this plan, this strategy, or this MCS system or that MCS system, whatever it be, always it will follow the Proxmac, and it will always try to organize M5T. It will always try to monitor whatever the planning has been done, and will always monitor and track with the actual baseline and the actual. Okay, if variance is there, then corrective actions will be there, and after that continuous improvement, that is Kaizen, will be implemented. So, and after that CSAT score will be taken, so that you are performing well. So always whatever the things are there, always remember that it is a Proxmac, and Proxmac of five resources, that is the M5T, and for functional areas, that is the MSF Hori, right? So always this remember whatever the steps, some steps comes, and if you remember those steps, it's okay. Otherwise, if you don't remember, then always remember Proxmac, Hori, and this thing, right? And also, always remember that whenever you are confident enough, that question, okay, you write it and also try to make some visuals or something like that, so that the examiner evaluator will be very happy that yes, he knows that, and he has done some extra things. Okay, so he gets you can impress that, and always try to attend those questions which you are very much comfortable. Okay, that impress the evaluator. Okay, particularly I don't know about others, but yes, if you have written in proper this thing, clean, clear, and this thing, right, some extra you have tried to write, then that is good enough. And try to attend to all the questions. Okay, and all the, because all of you are postgraduate. Okay, it will be open-handed questions. They will try to understand whatever you know. Okay, and they will try to understand your idea, your view. Okay, and that view should be as per whatever we have taught. Okay, so that is what you don't provide this thing, whatever it has been taught in the class. While the interactions you have done, you have to write them. Numericals, as I've said, someone has told that numerical. For numericals, I have taken one numerical from that from financial, that is variance, right? That numerical you just go through that. And another numerical I have given in transfer pricing, and transfer pricing for iPhone, you just revise it. Okay, so that these three numericals I will tell you to go through that. Okay, other than, I don't think I have taken beyond that, other than numericals. Okay, I have not taken that, so I do not expect that something will come apart from those. If something comes, then yes, then you give some, you just prepare for that as well. Because see, I am not the paper setter. Okay, there are 8 to 10 people more who can set their paper. Okay, there are chances that if they have put some numericals which I have not taught, there are chances it may come. So be also prepared with that. And if it comes and you are not able to attend, then don't blame me. Okay, I'm trying my best to this thing. Okay, and if you are not under, if you are not under, because for numerical only two topics has been told to me. One is from transfer pricing, and another is from the variance, which I have already taken in the classroom. Okay, only these two numericals I suggest you go through that. Okay, and for business case study, as I told, there are two types of business case study. One will be just like a comprehensive case study. Then another can be a open-handed, only 4 5 lines, where it will ask some topic and it will ask you to explain it. So you have to put all your knowledge into that. So your knowledge, whatever knowledge you have, whatever the examples you have seen, whatever the knowledge you have discussed, because we used to have a discussion a lot. Lots of storytelling has happened in the classroom, because my session is just like that, storytelling. So whatever the story or case studies which you remember, you just try to write that and make that story as per the whatever it has been asked. So the it will be more relevant, and you will get the mark because it is open handed, it is a subject use, and you being a post graduation, your idea is very much important, right? So that is what. Any other things you can write on the chat if you want anything else. Sagar Kamble has called, he has asked about numerical. I have already no talked about numerical. Anyone else, please write on the chat box. I'm looking at the chat box. Hello. I hope. Yes, Rahul Joshi, can you send again Varan's sums? Yes, I will send you on the this thing, right? I will again send you that. Okay, so don't worry. I will send it you back. That Varan's. Any concept which you feel most important? Most important, as I said, right? Compensation. See, the mid-sem you have already appeared. So all the concept, good concept has come in mid-sem. So you have to revamp all those concepts. And apart from that, the concepts which are there, right? So all the concepts which I feel, for example, in the chapter 13 or this thing, right? I feel, I will let you know. I will give you one example, one this thing example from each and every, from right from the last chapter. So in the last chapter, okay, that is chapter 13, right? Uh, Role of different role in MCS implementation, and the what are the changes, challenges in implementation of MCS is there. That question is very much important. Okay, challenges in implementation of the MCS. You just go through that, and as I said, that S curve for any organization. So they have different changes. So each and every company have a different challenges in this thing, and that challenge depends upon the different stage of that company. So challenges encountered while implementation of this thing MCS is one of the most important question which I expect. Then in risk management, I steps in the risk management and the risk response. These two things are very much important. Benefits and challenges are not that much important, but even though it comes, you will be able to write the benefits of risk management and other things. Okay. So in risk management, a risk response strategy and the steps in risk assessment, risk, right? That is very much important. That steps, right? Then that is a chapter 12, risk management. And as long as project is concerned, okay, project steps in the change control process. What is a CCB and what are the change control process? That is very much important. Okay, and rest of the things is not that much important in project. Okay, in project you can write whatever thing, because already you have been taught more in project management. Then next one is chapter 10. Okay, MCS design. Okay, how the designing happens in the MCS. Okay, international business, and international business is very much important, and how it gets designed in international business, that is very much important. Again, I told, right, implementation or design of MCS, it follows the POX map, but you can go through. This is very much important question because these are the steps. Okay, and how the MCS happens in multinational companies, you always remember that, because these multinational companies are operating in different countries, different cultures, different governance, different compliances are there, different regulations are there. Okay, different people are working there, their values are different. So these are some of the challenges you always remember with multinational companies. So the MCS or MCS objectives will differ, and one of the main objective is, although it is working in different countries, they need to have a centralized decision making. Some things it should be centralized. Otherwise, if it operates in silo, then there will be no visibility. So for MNCs, that is very much important. Okay, that is what the whole chapter is talking about. So this is again one of the questions can come in the multinational companies. Then service organization is also important. In techniques of the service is very much important. Like service blueprint, capacity management, yield management, service quality management, service recovery. You go through that, and VIP list NOC. The characteristic of this is very much important. Characteristic and the service techniques are important. Okay, in the service organization. Then we have another chapter 8, compensation management. You always remember ARC decks. This is very much important. Somewhere you have to write it. One is this question is very much important. You always remember this ARC decks. Why compensation is in this thing, right? So that is only, and the second steps in compensation management. So these two questions are very much important. Okay, so you remember these two questions, and you will be done with the company. And one of the questions are going to come in management compensation. So you remember that this thing. So management compensation question is very much important in service. Also, it is very much important. Okay, so two questions from management, two questions from service management. I will tell you to go through that. Then again comes with the target this thing, right? So smart steps, goals are there. Goals should be smart, as I told, right? And apart from for the target, it should have a characteristics like the tape, right? Like transparency, alignment, performance. This you remember. Okay, pastel you remember. Okay, and again, it is just like a CSI, a CSF, KPI, KRI. Otherwise, this is so. This question can come. Question can come over here in analyzing the performance for 5 marks. Okay, but you always remember the smart steps. Then chapter 6 is the budgeting. Budgeting I have already explained you, zero based budgeting, incremental, and the steps. These are very much important. Okay, types of budget can come. Okay, this was there, and earlier, I think first mid same it has come, so the same thing will remain. Okay, some question may get repeated as well. So this is all important questions. So I have given around 5 to 10 questions, important questions, to go through that. And if you remember, that will be more than enough for you. Okay, so I have discussed around 10 questions, right? 10 to 12 questions which you remember. Compensation management 2, service management 2 questions. Okay, these 3, 4, 5 questions are very much important. Okay, and yes, numericals, I just told you that, right? For numericals, transfer pricing numericals and variance numericals, I will be sharing with you again. Is it okay? See, Rahul, for risk management, right? You have the PPT, right? You can go through the PPT. Okay, example, you can give anything in risk management. Okay, go to the PPT, PI matrix, then how the risks are identified, how the risks are treated, risk response. Okay, steps in risk management and risk response strategies, and how the risks are identified, ADU. Then that PI matrix, how the top level metrics and other things are, those are very much important. Vishak. Rahul, example for the risk management. You can give the any example, whatever dependencies. For example, dependencies. If dependency and it is not a party which is going to provide you the that this thing, right? So that dependency, if it is not coming on the that support is not getting on the time, then it is a risk. Okay, so, but you have to always think for risk management. You have to always think that dependency which is there, it is a risk. When that how much risk is there, 90% or this thing, probability, PI metrics, and other things. So it is very much important. You can give like that example, many things, right? Yes, Maheshwari, whereas numericals, I will be giving back to you. Okay, I will give you back. I will be sharing that again on the WhatsApp group. Just go through that. Any other question? Rahul Joshi, is it okay? You can go through that. iPhone case study numericals you must have. Are you this thing, right? iPhone case studies numerical you must have. Rahul Joshi again, external factors influencing management control. Pastel, right? Rahul Joshi, pastel. Okay. Any other questions? Numerical I will be giving you again. Okay. So that I think if you don't have any question, just then I think it is 1 hour. You can prepare it by yourself. I have already discussed what are the important things, and some of the mnemonics I have already said. Okay, so that will help you in preparation. So I hope, right? Best of luck to you. Okay, I will have to share the numericals, iPhone case study as well as the variance is this thing, and rest of the things. If you require any PPT or something, that just tell me. Then I will again send you the PPT or something. I hope each and everyone has got the PPTs right for detail. One of the case study which I have shared was for Arduino, right? Arduino case study is for the multinational company, how the multinational companies, this thing treated or in the faces the challenges. You can here and there you can mention that Arduino's case study, because the Arduino case study is latest case study. You can mention whenever you are coming with the challenges for the multinational companies, because it is one of the good this thing. And if you want, I will be sharing that that case study again. Okay, Arduino case study. Arduino. Okay. So always remember what are the stories and other things I have there. I will be sharing that case studies as well along with that, so that it will be refreshed one. So you can use those references for explaining your this thing, your thinking. Okay. So like the iPhone case study, then Wipro case study in compensation management, Jatin Dalal, right? Who left Wipro and joined this thing, uh, Cognizant. Okay. In Wipro, he was getting around 10 crores per annum. In Cognizant, he started getting 40 crores. Now, Wipro is asking 25 crores only. He will be very happy. Okay. If he is not, if he lose the in the court, then also he will be very happy. Okay. Because he's getting already 40 crores. Giving 25 crores will be more than, still he will have 25 crores. He was getting 12 crores, right? So it is good actually, and he's become very famous as well. So that case, Wipro, which has been filed, right? That makes him more, competent enough. Okay, so like that, you can give that, because compensation is very much important. And if you will go exploit people, you will not value your people. They are going to leave your company. So that that case study, Wipro's case study for compensation management is one of the excellent case studies, and you can put your own ideas. And transfer pricing, I have given you the iPhone case studies, and for multinational companies, Arduino is one of the good case study. Okay, so that's all. Good then. Okay, I will have some videos file for those case studies. I will be sending those case studies as well. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Best of luck. So I am leaving. 13 people have joined, right? Okay, fine.